So as you come down to lie on your back, just taking a moment just to check over how your body's feeling. Just start to allow any tension in the body just to kind of release into the ground. And you can just let that heaviness go as well. So the heaviness is just releasing into the back of the body. And I think it's really nice just to take a couple of nice, deep, energizing breaths in through the nose. And then just releasing from the nose or the mouth. And as you do, you can kind of let your body sink into being supported, sink into any space beneath you. And then just starting to bring your attention just to move into the present moment. So just starting to be aware of taking the full awareness onto your body and onto any sensations you might be feeling in your body this morning. And you'll find that as you bring your awareness onto the body, the awareness often automatically will move onto the breath. And that's absolutely fine. It keeps you completely present. But just being aware then of the breath and where the breath is moving in your body. I'm just starting to lengthen the breath now, starting to take deeper, more energizing breaths into your body. And if you can, we're starting to kind of almost open the heart space, open the chest. So I want you to think about breathing really into the area of your diaphragm. That's almost where the breath starts. So the diaphragm is just where the ribs are parting. And I just want you to think about your breath starting there and allowing that breath to start to swell from there. So swelling maybe into the belly, but definitely into the chest and up to the collarbones, almost as if you're taking in a beautiful, lovely, amazing, fresh new breath this morning. And the arms can come out to the side if they feel comfortable at shoulder height, letting the shoulders relax. So you're really opening that chest area, really bringing in the breath, the air that you need to. And try to find smoothness in that breath. So even though you're lengthening your breath, even though you might be making a little bit of a longer breath, a little bit of a deeper breath than you usually do, just trying to keep it as smooth and as unlabored as possible. Just concentrating on allowing the move from inhalation to exhalation and back from exhalation to inhalation. Those changes in breath, just allowing them to be smooth as well. And you can just be aware of any changes in the body that the longer, deeper breath, the more open breath might be creating. It might not be creating any, but just being aware if you are managing to find that release in those places that we hold the tension. Just be aware if you are drawn to any area in the body. And if it feels good for you, you can start to move into your Ujjayi breath. We're going to start moving in a moment. So you're just gently closing the back of the throat as you inhale. And as you exhale, you can hear that gentle noise as the exhalation has to move through a just slightly narrowed back of the throat, slightly narrowed windpipe. And even though you might be taking these Ujjayi breaths, just allowing yourself to find softness in the face before we move. and in the jaw, and letting the throat be free, and letting the mouth and the tongue and the lips be released. So everything is nice and soft in your face. We're starting with little tension in the body. And from here, we're going to start to slowly move. So the arms might be out to shoulder height. So you might just want to just move into the fingers and the wrists and the hands. And just placing the palms of the hands on the floor. Just bending both knees. So just bending both knees so both the soles of the feet are on the floor. And just take a moment to allow yourself arrive. So it might be at this stage that you take a strap. If you don't have a strap, that's fine. Just take the arms up at shoulder height. This will be a bit more intense on the core, so you might want to do this instead. So we're just going to bring the right knee in towards us, keeping that left leg bent, and just take a couple of rotations into the ankle now. Just waking the foot up. We want to wake that foot up. And then either with the strap on the ball of the foot or taking the arms wide, we're just going to start to send that leg up towards the ceiling. So straightening the leg as much as we can, trying not to move off the back of the body. Arms are up at shoulder height with the palms facing down here. So we're taking a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're really pushing into the heel and we're bringing the foot all the way down to the ground. So let it release. Inhale, bring it all the way back up again. Exhale, taking it over to the right side. Keep the back of the body in connection with the ground. You might send the left knee to the other side. And then bringing it back to center. Keep the lower belly pushed into the floor, so the lower back pushed into the floor. Keeping the back of the pelvis on the floor. Over to the left side. And back to center. And then releasing that leg all the way down to the floor. We're going to take a deep breath in. Bring it all the way back up again. Really push into the foot. Really flex the feet. We want those feet to be super awake this morning. And then just bring that knee in towards you. Left hand can come onto the floor. And just taking a couple of circles into the hip. So again, trying not to lose the left side of the back of the pelvis. Trying not to let that come off the floor. Keep the lower back pushed into the floor. We want to start waking up the core and taking it the other way. And then just bring that knee back in towards you. Take the left knee in towards you as well. We're going to do the same with the left leg. But first of all, we're going to release the hands again onto the floor. Send both feet up towards the ceiling. So feeling a big stretch in both feet. Zip the thighs together. So really pull the thighs together. If you want to do this nice and strong, you're really finding that you're zipping those thighs together. The feet are flexed. Push the lower back into the floor, take a deep breath in, and we're releasing the feet nice and slowly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Now what will have happened is the chin might have wanted to jump to the ceiling to try and save yourself from the core working. So pull that chin back in, bending both knees, and we're taking the left leg in towards us now. So just let it arrive. So you might want to take your strap and just pop it on the bottom of the foot, holding the strap with the left hand. Otherwise, arms coming out nice and wide at shoulder height. Inhale, take the leg up, flex the foot. Take a little bit of a rotation of the ankle in one direction, and then the other. We really want to wake that foot up, like I said. We can do a bit of balancing. Flexing the foot again, push the lower back into the floor. Leg comes down. If you can, don't release it to the floor. On an inhalation, we're pushing into that heel, bringing it up. Exhalation, it goes over to the left side. Don't kind of move really deeply into this pose if you're going to lose the back of the pelvis. So you want the back of the pelvis connected with the ground. Bringing it back to center and taking it to the other side. So taking that foot when you're ready, back to center, keep the back of the pelvis connected. Taking the foot all the way down again. And then bending the knee, we're going to bring both legs up towards the ceiling now. So we're bringing both knees in towards us, legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to do that double leg lift and raise. So take a deep breath in, push the lower back into the floor. Legs are coming down. Let them hover, push the lower back into the floor, don't lose the chin, and then bringing them all the way back up again. We're going to take the arms all the way overhead now. So you're opening the armpits, arms come overhead. Relax the shoulders if you can. Legs are up towards the ceiling, zipping those thighs together. We're going to come all the way up to Dandasana in a moment. So take a deep breath in, let yourself come up to Dandasana, and we're coming all the way back down again. As you come down, try not to have the bottom come off the floor. Keep the back of the body on the floor. We're going to do that again. Take a deep breath in, up to Dandasana, using your core muscles, coming all the way back down again with control, so that bottom doesn't come off the floor. We're coming up again. We're going to take ourselves into a gentle forward fold, and then back again. So take a deep breath in, use your core muscles to come up. You might bend the knees here as you move into a gentle forward fold. And then reaching forwards, coming all the way back up again, back down onto the floor. Not a lot of room here. Take another one, deep breath in. Exhale, use those core muscles, come all the way up. Then you're reaching forwards. And then coming all the way back down again. Lovely. Release those hands out to the side. And just slowly we're lowering the feet back down to the floor, pushing the lower back into the floor. Lovely. And then just bringing those knees in towards you. So take a deep breath in here, let the neck be nice and long. Maybe you're lifting from the chest just to find a little bore here. Again, a little bit more intense on the core. And we're just going to roll along the back of the body. We're going to come up to seated position. Again, we're still working on the core. Quite a strong exercise in a moment. Coming all the way up, and we're into a position a bit like this. We're going to move into either boat or half boat. And we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor just to really wake that core up so we can do some balances. So when you're ready, make sure you're lifting up through your spine. And come either into boat or half boat. Now really feel as though you're coming onto the front of the sit bones rather than leaning back too much. So you're keeping the chest nice and lifted. So we're just holding ourselves into boat. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to come into low boat, so you're just hovering. Exhale here, come back up into boat or half boat, boat or half boat. Coming all the way down again, we're going to come into a back bend to really wake us up. So we're going to try and just keep, not release the upper body or the lower body onto the floor. Sorry, hands come behind the head to start with, and we're making a turn over onto our front, and you're lifting up with your hands behind the head. It's quite hard to do in a straight line. Point the toes, shoulder blades together, lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath in and release back down to the floor. We're coming back into child pose. So come into traditional child pose if you can. That's quite strong on the core, that little sequence there. So you can take the hands behind you, palms facing up. And just send the hips down onto the heels. Just take a few nice deep breaths in and out here. And then we're coming up onto all fours when you're ready. So just let yourself move onto all fours. Find a nice, strong, solid position. So knees quite far apart, hip distance or so. Hands nice and wide. And just starting to move into your cat-cows now. So just to start really working the body, inhaling, looking up, exhaling, rounding the back, chin to chest. So just moving into those places, sending breath into those places that you know that you need a little bit more stretch. And you can start to move in whatever movements that feel good for you today. So you can start to take the hips into circles or move into the hips or the shoulders, just finding that balance. And then when you're ready, just let yourself come to all fours, come to feel nice and balanced on all fours, nice broad shoulders, engaging your core. So we're going to work on the core a little bit more now. We're going to take it as steady as we can. We're going to work with the breath. So we're going to lift the right leg off the floor, toes come into the floor. So find that you're engaged here down the middle of your body. Right leg off the floor, and then we're lifting it up, toe towards the ground. If you can, take a nice big swoop of that left arm in front of you. So you're equally balanced on both legs. You're not looking forward, you're looking down, and your core is engaged. That will help you to keep your balance. So we're taking a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to round to the back, bring the knee to the elbow, point the toe now, hold it here. Inhale when you're ready. We're going to take it out again. So reaching out, flexing the foot one more time. Exhale, elbow to knee. Hold it here. And then taking that arm out again. Releasing the hand. We're going to bring the knee to the nose now. And as we do, we're going to cross the knee, the right knee now over the left. So you're a bit like cow face pose. So right knee over left, and you've got a gap in the back of the legs. So when we arrive here, we're just moving into those hips a bit more. So we're just going to start to take the weight back onto the hips, reach forwards. And then bring yourself forwards. So just moving backwards, coming forwards. So that right knee is over the left knee, and the bottom can come in between the lower legs. So as we move now, we're going to release that right knee, bring it up to the nose, send it back again. And then we're bringing it forwards, crossing it, that leg over the left leg, bringing the bottom into the middle of your lower legs. Knee comes to nose, sending it backwards. Knee comes to nose, cross it over the other one, sitting in between those legs. One more of these. Knee comes to nose, backwards. And then knee coming to nose, crossing it over and releasing. Take a moment here, have a bit of a wiggle into those hips. It's a really nice hip warm up. And then coming forwards onto all fours now. So we'll take that to the other side. So if you need to just have a little bit of a movement in the wrists or whatever, because it's quite intense in the wrists, just take a few little movements. And then coming back onto all fours. So left leg is coming out behind you, toes on the floor. So I just want to be here for a moment just to make sure that I've got all my weight evenly distributed on the other limb. Then I lift the foot up. So I've got that balance. My core is engaged, my spine is long. Left arm goes in front of me. Sorry, right arm in front of me. Left arm's on the floor, left foot's off the floor. So nice and strong, nice straight line. The left foot is flexed. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Right elbow to left knee, rounding the back. Inhale, release. Flexing that foot. Exhale, right now elbow to left knee. Inhale. And then right elbow coming to the left knee. Take it nice and wide again. And we're releasing the hand. So then we're bringing the left knee towards the nose, round the back, round the back, round the back. Taking the left knee over the right, opening up the back of your legs. So moving into, start to work into the hips. Bottom comes towards the floor, and then we're kind of moving forwards into your shoulders, bottom towards the floor, moving forwards. You might want to look up here if it feels okay on the neck. And then let's just start to take that a bit deeper. So as we come forwards, we release the leg. We stretch it as far as we want to behind. Coming forwards. Releasing the hips to the floor. Knee comes to nose. Just a few more of these. Don't let the breath kind of be too strained. Just take it slower if it is. Last one, knee to nose. Take that leg all the way back. And then bringing yourself back onto all fours. Let's take an extended child pose just to kind of neutralize everything before we come into downward dog. So knees wide, toes together. Take those arms nice and forwards. Release your forehead to the ground. You might want to roll from side to side across the forehead. And then coming back to stillness. So you can probably feel the back of the shoulders are quite broad. Send the breath into the back of the body. So you're using all of the lung capacity to breathe. And then we're taking the hands underneath the shoulders, coming back up onto all fours. Let's slowly tuck ourselves up into downward dog. So we're just going to hover the knees off the floor for a moment. Nice, strong, straight back. You might have your core engaged here. And then the head comes in between the upper arms. Let it hang. Knees are still bent. And then we're going to send the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And just push into the heels. Have a little walk of the dog. So we're just going to be here for a moment. So let's, when you're ready, find some stillness. We want to just work on the feet to start with. So we're going to take the awareness away from the hands and move it into the feet. So the weight is evenly distributed across the hands, but the more I think about moving into my legs and my feet, I can take the weight away from the hands. So we're going to push into the balls of the feet and just think about sending the heels to the ground and keep thinking about sending your tailbone up towards the ceiling. So you're really lifting, 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 using your core to lift your bottom up towards the ceiling. Really finding length in that spine, push the heels towards the floor, and from the back of the legs, find the power to lift your bottom even higher. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. Try to really send the energy into the feet, into the legs. When you've taken 3 deep breaths in and out, you can take a few steps forward or you can jump forwards and just finding a half lift at the front of your mat. So looking down towards the floor, but the crown of the head is towards kind of wherever your forwards is. Take a deep breath in, and then we're going to exhale, we're going to fold again. So just folding over the legs. The hands can come behind the ankles. And again, we're just thinking about activating those feet. So push the feet into the floor as much as you can. Send your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Really think about pushing the heels down. And the more of the energy that you find in those legs, the more you'll be able to fold into that forward fold. Push the feet into the floor. Push the heels down into the floor as you send the thighs, the bottom up towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, taking the hands back onto the shins, pull the belly in, lengthen forwards. Fold forwards on an exhalation. And then we're coming all the way up. So as you come up so that the arms and the torso are in unison. So we're coming all the way up. We're finding strength and lift. Reach up. Take the hands together here. We're going to take a baby back bend. So we're opening the chest and we're pushing the hips forward. If it feels okay on the neck, look up. It's the chest and the hips that are working, not the lower back so much. And then bringing the hands to the heart center. So coming to the front of your mat, just moving a little bit more into a warm-up, coming through to take a couple of sun salutations now. So we'll take a few variations just to get us a little bit warm and used to it. So let's take the hands to heart center to start with. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can release the hands. Then inhale, take the arms nice and wide all the way overhead. And if you've got room, we're folding forward, taking the torso and the arms together on the exhalation. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding forwards. I'm going to inhale, look up again. Send the right leg back. Don't release the knee. Lengthen forwards here. So that left leg is over your ankle. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Push into the back foot. And then release the hands coming into our plank position. So we're not going to move through chaturanga today. We're going to come straight into either cobra or up dog. So tops of the feet on the floor, or you can release down to the floor, shoulder blades together to open up. Exhale, we're coming into downward dog. Lovely. Take a deep breath in. We're taking the right leg up, bringing the knee to the nose, and then release it at the front of the mat. Find length in that other leg. So pushing into the other leg. Find length in the spine. And then with control, moving that foot forwards to meet the other one. Forward fold here. And then moving forwards into the core, coming all the way up. Releasing the hands. Take the hands to heart center, deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands. Inhale, take the arms all the way overhead. And then using that fold forwards, forwards, forwards on the exhalation. Inhale, find a half lift. Exhale, fold forwards again. And then inhale, half lift, left leg comes back. Right knee is over the right ankle, lengthen forwards. So coming into your plank, finding the strength in your core. Now remember, if you're coming straight into upward dog, it's the hips, it's all in the hips. So you want to push the hips forward, lengthen, it's about lengthening the spine, not just a bend in the lumbar spine, the lower back. Coming into your back bend. And then take the hips high into downward dog. Deep breath in, left leg comes up, front of the mat. Push into that right foot, find length. Nice bit of length there, and then sending yourself forwards into forward fold. Reach forwards, 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 coming all the way up, lifting up. Exhale, releasing the hands. Lovely, moving into a flow now. We're going to take it a little bit more traditional, moving back into our sun salutation A. So we're kind of focusing a little bit on balancing today, a bit of a theme. So feet either together or hip distance apart. Hands next to you. Just remembering that we want to be really connected with the feet, the legs, pelvis, the spine, and keep the mind nice and steady as we take our balances today. So we're inhaling, taking the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, take a half lift, and you can jump or step back into your plank. And this time we will come through push-up. So weight forward, coming into chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, coming into your upward dog, and then arrive in your downward dog. So we're going to move into that high lunge again now, bringing the arms overhead when we arrive. So inhaling the right leg up, coming to the front of the mat. So pushing into that back foot, lengthen forwards, lift forwards. And then when you're ready, finding that length to come all the way overhead. Right leg's leading, push the hips forwards. And just engage with the breath here. So find strength in your posture before we take a twist. We're going to twist over the right knee. So pushing into the back foot, push the heels forward, spine's long, palms come together to the heart center. Starting to take that twist to the right side. Now you might here find that you want to stay upright. You might want to take a little bend forwards. Doesn't matter which, it's entirely up to you. But think about twisting from this kind of just above the waistline upwards. Hold it here, push into that back foot. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center. Find a nice strong lunge again. And then we're going to release, just straighten the front leg, releasing the back foot. So we're going to have the hips facing towards the front of the mat still. Front leg is straight. So that right leg is straight, left arm comes overhead. Find lift and length in the spine, then start to reach forward. We're taking a twist towards the right side. So taking that hand either on the floor by the foot or on the other side of the foot to really test the balance, and then starting to take the twist towards the right side. So we're in our reverse triangle. Arm can come overhead. Reach up here. You can look up if the balance is there today. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Releasing that hand. Hands come on the floor now. We're almost in like a pyramid pose, but we're going to start to bend that front knee and we're lifting the left leg off of the floor. So you'll lift the left leg off the floor, point the toe, start to bring the knee to the right knee to the nose. Hold it here. For 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing. 4 and 5. So with control, you're releasing that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Coming back into plank. Just find a nice strong plank now. And then moving through knees, chest, chin or chaturanga and taking your back bend. Coming into your downward dog. Take 3 nice deep breaths in and out in your downward dog. So the breath shouldn't be laboured here. If the breath is laboured, just bring yourself back a little bit from going to extremes. When you've taken those 3 breaths in and out, left leg comes up, knee comes to nose, front of the mat, release. Push into that back heel, lengthen through the spine. When you feel like you've got a nice lot of length in the spine, the core is engaged, you're pushing into the back foot, bringing yourself all the way up. So when we do, you might straighten that front leg a little bit and then re-bend the knee so it's over the ankle, pushing your hips forward. Let yourself breathe and arrive here. So when you find stillness, somewhere to focus on, palms together down to heart center. Thinking about using the breath to twist towards the left side. This might be enough, you might be upright. You might want to take it deeper by just hooking that right elbow over the left knee. You also might want to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Entirely up to you. Hold it here. Keep breathing. And then on an inhale, taking those arms forwards, lifting up. Oh, nearly lost my balance there. And then straightening that front leg, releasing the back foot to the floor. So you're lifting up, you've got a nice lot of length here. Left arm comes onto left hip. Keep that length in the spine. Really feel lots of room in the torso as you reach your right arm forward. Reaching as far forward as you can, then you're taking the twist towards the left side and using the breath to open up towards the left side. Arm can come overhead. Lovely. One more deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, taking that left arm to the floor, starting to bend the right knee. So you're almost like in a little bit of a runner's lunge. And then thinking about starting to take the weight onto the left foot. Right foot comes overhead, knee comes to nose, point the toe. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, with control, you're bending that left leg. Take the right foot to the back of the mat. Move into your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Taking your back bend into your downward dog. 3 deep breaths in and out here. When you've taken those 3 breaths in and out, hopping or stepping forward into a half lift. Exhale, we're folding forwards. Inhale, we're taking the arms forwards this time all the way up, reaching up. And exhale, releasing the hands. Moving into the next flow, we're staying with the balance a little bit. We're going to take Dancing Warrior. We're going to take Warrior 1 and Dancing Warrior. So again, find that connection with the feet and the floor. Just take a moment to lift the toes off the floor, spread them wide, lift the heels off the floor and release them. Maybe just moving the weight from heels to toe. So you're really connected with the feet. And then coming to stillness. So we're going to move into our chair pose now. So we're going to inhale, take the arms overhead, weight comes into the heels, reaching up. So you want a nice lot of gap between the thighs and the belly. You don't want to be leaning this far forward that the belly's on the thighs. Reach into the fingertips, hold it here, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, without the thigh touching the belly quite yet, coming onto the floor, crown of the head onto the floor. Bend the knees slightly, plant the hands, have a little hop or a step back into your plank, move through knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Taking up dog, and into your downward dog. Lovely, so 3 breaths here. And then we're going to lead with the right leg moving into our warrior one. So inhale the right leg up, front of the mat, hips are square to the front of the mat, lifting up. Just straighten that front leg when you arrive. Make sure the hips are forwards towards the front of the mat. And then taking the arms overhead. Bend into the front knee comes over the ankle, push the hips forwards. Holding it here, really think about connecting those feet with the ground, so the weight is equal on both feet here in your warrior one. The spine is long, your hips are pushed forward a little bit, which will help you bring yourself into a neutral spine, which will help with your next posture. So let's move into that next posture, dancing warrior. You can take the right hand on the right hip, and we're starting to engage the core, find somewhere to focus on, lifting that left leg up. This might be enough. If you want to take it a bit deeper, you can push the foot into the hand, bring the arm forwards, and just starting to take that fold forwards. Hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. With control, coming back to upright, releasing your hand, and then bringing that knee forwards, arms can come overhead. Find a nice lot of lift. Inhale, and then bring the hands to heart center. Release your foot straight back into chair. Inhaling, connect those feet with the floor. Lift up, belly's away from the thighs. Weights coming into the back of the heels. Deep breath in, fold forwards from here, keeping the belly away from the thighs. Lift up to jump or step back into plank. Moving down through knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Taking your back bend, and then coming into downward dog for 3 breaths here, just to let the breath and the body catch up with each other. The left leg is coming up when you're ready. We're taking it to the front of the mat to find that warrior one. So find lift and length, hips face forward, bend that front knees over the ankle, pushing into the back foot. This is a lovely posture, so really do it justice with its strength. Pushing both feet into the floor. Don't lose the back foot, hips are facing forwards. We're going to take that balance to the other side now. So taking the left hand on the left hip, starting to transfer the weight onto the left foot. Right toes are curling around the right hand. And then you can start to bring yourself into warrior. So what happens sometimes is we open the hips a little bit here to find the stretch. But try not to do that if you can. Hips won't stay square, but as square as they can to the front of the mat. You can always cheat like me and have a bit of warmth. Nice deep breath in. With control, we're coming all the way back up again. And then we're bringing the knee in front of you, arms are coming overhead. Find lift and length. And then keeping those arms overhead, we're going to release the foot. We're coming into chair again. So coming into chair, nice and strong in chair. Okay, so those of you who want to stay in chair for a moment, staying in chair. Those of you who want to work into the legs a bit more, you're coming into low chair. So you're coming all the way down. Keep the arms lifted, keep looking forward. Hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then push into those feet. Lifting all the way up again, arms overhead. Hands to heart center. Give yourself a little bit of a roll backwards and forwards, releasing your hands. So we're going to just open the hips a little bit now, moving into last posture. So this is where you might want your block. So just taking the block, first of all, along the middle of the, because we're going to need it on both sides. So just take the hands to heart center now, and we're just going to take the left leg out to the side, right toes are facing forwards. Lovely, so nice lot of lift here. And then we're just going to bend that front knee, you're in warrior two. So you might want to take it quite deeply, so creep those feet forward, and you're in your warrior two, lifting up. Find that nice, strong warrior two. Deep breaths in and out here. Back foot is connected with the ground, spine is long, chest is open. And we're just going to reverse the warrior now. So we're just taking the left hand back onto the leg, reaching the right arm up. You might want to look up. You might want to take the glance down to the back leg. Remember, this is a side stretch more than anything. Keep those feet nicely connected with the ground. Keep the front knee bent, coming all the way up again. So just taking your block, you might take a wall, you might take something else. We're going to move from our warrior two into half moon. So when you're ready, find wherever your half moon is, and it can be anywhere today, it's absolutely fine. So first step is the balance, flex that back foot. Second step is opening up, stacking the hips. Third step, arm overhead. Fourth step, looking up. This might be enough for some of you. Those who want to take it a bit deeper, you can start to bend that left foot. Push the foot into the hand, and you're finding sugar cane pose. Hold it here. Sugar cane pose, you're looking down towards the floor. 3, 4, 5. With control, releasing the leg backwards, and we're coming back into warrior two. Lovely. So we're just going to take the arms down onto the floor, start to straighten the front leg, and then walking the hands and that front foot come to face the side of the mat, so the long side of the mat. So make sure that you're not coming onto the sides of your feet. Feel as though you're pushing the knees together, make those legs work really strong. Lengthen forwards here, and then take the crown of the head down towards the floor. You might want to take opposite ankles, and you're not using your hands to create brute force to pull yourself down. More is giving you more support to push into the feet, bring the knees together, and send the tailbone high. So we're releasing the hands. You might want to take your block here because it's coming to the other side. Walk them forwards a little bit, find a little bit of lift, and then taking the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Now those left toes are facing towards the back of the mat, and the right toes are on the kind of long end of your mat. So you're kind of in that pyramid pose, lengthening forward. Then push into the back foot. You can bend the front knee here. The front knee is over your ankle, coming up into your warrior. Lovely. So finding the lift here, finding the lift from the feet, from the pelvis. Nice strong position. And then reversing the warrior, right hand comes onto the right leg, lifting up, lift, 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 lift. This might be enough. You might take it a little bit further back. Look down towards the back heel or looking up. Keep pushing those hips forward. Keep that front knee bent because it will want to straighten up. Keep it over the ankle. And then lift again, coming back into your warrior. So let's take that balance to the other side. Moving into that half moon, lifting up. This might be enough. It might be different on this side. Or you might want to take the foot into the hand. Let's have a go. Then when that foot's in the hand, you're pushing the foot, finding sugar cane, or in your half moon for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with control. Let's release that back foot, back to warrior. And then again, keeping that front knee bent, find a bit of reach. And we're walking the hands and that left foot's following us. Coming all the way to the side of the mat, find length. And then walking the hands again underneath you, crown of the head towards the floor. So don't just let yourself come onto the sides of the feet, send the tailbone high, maybe taking opposite ankles. Bring the knees together, super strong legs. Lovely, so we're just going to lift forwards a little bit now. Take the hands on the hips, round the shoulders, keep the chest open, push the feet into the floor, coming all the way up. Take the hands to heart center, and we're just going to jump together now, coming back into your chair pose. So you might have a little bit of a wiggle to find chair here. Lifting up through chair. Try to keep the feet connected with the ground. We're coming into that low chair. If there's any issues with the knees, stay in this chair. Coming down, those of you in low chair, coming all the way down. Low chair, we're just releasing the bottom to the ground. And then if you're in chair, you can come all the way down. Release your bottom. We're sat on the ground now. We're going to roll down the spine. And just let everything relax when you arrive. So just letting the shoulders relax, letting the head relax. Maybe just take a little bit of a roll from side to side. And then just bringing yourself back to a nice central position. So let's bring the right knee in towards us. Have a bit of a wiggle across those legs. Back of the hips. And then we're just going to cross the right leg over the left. So have a bit of a stretch on a twist into the hips as well. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to push that left foot into the floor. Lift the hips up so you're kind of in a bridge pose. This should be okay, feel okay on the neck and everything. Really pushing into that left foot. And then just take the hips over towards the right side. And you're coming onto the side of your left. And then just letting the legs fall. So you can feel real stretch in the side of the body here. You might straighten out that top leg and you might hold on to the foot with the hand. You might take the nose over to the other side. Try to keep the shoulder blades connected with the ground. Try to just let them release. So while you're here, just let the breath return to normal, let the body start to sink into where it needs to be. And then if that right leg is straight, rebending it, keeping both knees together, bring yourself back to center, find the center point. So the back of your pelvis is nicely connected with the ground. And then we're just going to bring the left knee in towards you. Maybe move into it. And then crossing that left over the right. Push into the feet and just shift the hips up high to start with. So you're pushing into the right foot. Take the hips over to the left. So you're coming onto the right side of your hip. It's kind of, you're on the left side, but coming onto the right hip. And then let the feet fall over to the right side. It might feel different on this side. You might not want to straighten the left leg, or you might want to straighten it. Entirely up to you. Try to keep the shoulders connected with the ground. Letting the body just release where it needs to be. And if that left leg is straight, rebending it and bringing both the legs back to center. So if you, we're gonna, because this is supposed to be energizing, it's morning session, so we want to leave with lots of energy. So we're going to move into either a nice strong bridge pose, or you can take yourself a supported inversion, so legs up the wall, or something underneath, something nice like a pillow underneath the lower back, just to lift the legs up. So wherever you are, just make yourself nice and comfortable. Let your neck be nice and long, so there's a gap between the neck and the floor. The shoulders are relaxed, hands are on the floor next to you. If you're coming to bridge, push those feet into the ground. Really feel the feet energize the whole body as you start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. If you kind of had enough and you're like, I've already energized a lot this morning, and you're in your, come into your supported inversion, just let yourself arrive. Have the arms out wide if you're in supported inversion, so you can really start to bring the breath into the sides of the body. If you're in bridge, just coming onto the sides of your arms, pushing the hips nice and high, so we're opening the chest here. Take some nice, deep, long breaths out, in and out. Keep the knees over the ankles if you can, try not to let them splay out. Keep the head in the same place, be kind to your neck. And if you're in bridge and you've taken 5 breaths in and out, you can kind of release the arms, slowly roll down the spine, bring the knees in towards you. And then everyone can just slowly start to move into the Shavasana of their choice. So you can have the knees bent and just let them fall in towards each other. You can let the legs be long, palms can face up. Make sure that neck is nice and long, the chin is gently into the chest. And just let yourself start to settle now. Close the eyes if that feels nice. And when you feel like you've arrived somewhere, you can settle for the next few minutes. Just maybe take a couple of deep breaths in and out, just to let the body settle. Take those final breaths into anywhere where you feel you need a little bit of extra help physically. And then you can just allow your body again just to find that support against the ground. And as you feel the body get really heavy in the back, almost like you're releasing any tension, you can let yourself feel a little bit more open in the front of the body, a little bit lighter in the front of the body. So try to stay as present as you can with your body or with your breath. As you just let everything completely relax and completely release. So let yourself surrender to what is there. Allow your mind to stay present on where you are physically, on where your breath is. And because the mind likes to be busy, it will want to move into where you're going next or what you're doing next. But try to keep it completely focused on just allowing yourself to relax those energies that are moving around, allowing them to find stillness. Finding that sense of stillness and peace within. Wherever the mind kind of is now, just start to bring it back to the breath. Start to bring it back to the breath starting and ending almost in the diaphragm. Even though it doesn't, we just want to bring our awareness there. And as you inhale, kind of imagine all that energy being brought into the center of your body, spreading out to the outside of your body. And as you exhale, let it release back into that diaphragm area, that center, just where the ribs part. Just allowing the energy to swell right to the outer edges of your body. Right from the center of your body. And when you feel as though the energy is moved right to the edges of your body, you can bend your knees, make whatever movements you need to make, and just roll over onto one side. And then bring yourself up to seated to close your practice. So let yourself arrive in a comfortable seat. Sit bones connected with the ground, really lifting up through the spine. Find length and energy in that spine. We're going to take the arms all the way overhead, taking one last deep breath in, opening the chest, bringing the palms together, and then taking them to heart center on the exhalation, letting everything relax. So just take a moment of stillness with yourself, a moment of peace. If you feel you need to make the hands connect with a chakra or somewhere on your body, you can do so. And then to close your practice, you can take hands to heart center, or actually take the hands wherever feels comfortable. And you can close your practice however you wish. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I will just pop everyone.